Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Quick and simple gospel. Yeshua, Jesus, came to this earth, lived a perfect 33 years, was crucified on a cross for our sins, buried in a tomb for 3 days, and rose from the grave on a third day. We are saved through faith in Christ alone and by no other name. Amen. So, good evening guys. Hope you are doing well today. Big breaking news, Bobby Jenks, closer for White Sox World Series winning team, dead at 44. I'm going to show you how this is all connected to the Antichrist, Barack Obama. So I'm just checking how we're looking on the screen here. Looks good. Whoops. Hope you guys are doing well. Give me 1 second, sorry. Okay, we're good to go. All right, guys, yeah, this is all connected to Barack Obama. Believe it or not, I'm going to show you with all the mathematical proof. This is a big Antichrist ritual. You can check in with the chat. Much love to Jacob, Jesus Christ, my King. Who else is in here? Katie. Much love. Hey, San Juana. Hope you guys are doing well. Guys, do me a favor when you come in. Please hit the like button. Very much appreciated. Helps out the algorithm and helps more people find the video. And also, please hit the share button. That way we can get this out to more people. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? All right, guys. This is kind of a long decode, so we'll go ahead and get started. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, just give me a second to get all set up, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And you might hear some background noise tonight. People are still doing a lot of fireworks. So if you hear any loud bangs in the background, that's what it is. All right, guys, here we go. Bobby Jenks, closer for White Sox World Series winning team, dead at 44. This article from today, July 5th. All right, guys, so we're going to break this down all by the numbers using gematria, which is simply letters as numerals. And once you learn the simple code of coding letters into numbers, you can see right through the scripted coded news every day. Yeah, Mike, Cancer at 44. And then when you'll see. But yeah, you got it, Mike. Cancer at 44. All right, guys, this is, in my opinion, a huge ritual connected to the Antichrist, Barack Obama. And the reason I say that, the Chicago White Sox pitcher is dead at the age of 44. And Obama was number 44. Okay? Barack Obama is a Chicago White Sox fan. Okay? So Obama is number 44. This guy's dead at 44. And Obama is a Chicago White Sox fan. Okay? So this guy died on July 4th. He died 4 weeks and 4 days before Obama's birthday. And he died from cancer, which equals 44. Like kill is 44. And also, I think it's right here. Don't forget, execution is also 44. But even without the Obama connection, like Mike said, he's dead from cancer at 44 when cancer equals 44. But you know me, I'm the guy always connecting things to Barack Obama. What are the odds that Barack Obama is indeed a Chicago White Sox fan? Obama was number 44, and he died 4 weeks and 4 days before Obama's birthday from cancer, 44. Like, kill, 44. So that's already a lot to be a coincidence, right? Well, imagine my face when I found out that Robert Jenks was born on March 14th, 1981. Guys, he was born 222 days after Obama's birthday. I mean, we're only 2 slides into this, and your mind should already be blown. My mind is blown. And why does the 222 matter? Before I get to that, let me also point out, this guy won the World Series with the White Sox. Guys, the White Sox won the World Series October 26, 2005. That was 2 months and 22 days after Obama's birthday. Are you kidding me? So not only was this guy born 222 days from Obama's birthday, but he won the World Series with the White Sox 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. How crazy is that? Right? And here, let me just, give me a second. Did Bobby Jenks win the 2005 World Series with White Sox? Here you go. Now look at that. Jenks was called up to the major leagues by the White Sox on July 5th. That's today. Yeah. The White Sox made it to the 2005 World Series, and Jenks pitched in each of the series 4 games. The White Sox won the series in 4 straight games over the Houston Astros. And Jenks pitched a total of 5 innings and made the series' final pitch. So he made the final pitch, guys. Okay? So, yeah, I didn't even know that. Jenks was called up to the major leagues by the White Sox on July 5th. Isn't that today? Wow, well, that's new. Because I know he made his debut the next day on 7-6, which we're going to talk about, but he got called up on 7-5. That's interesting. Let me see, because it'll show here his debut. Yeah, right here. So his debut was on July 6, 7-6. Of course, Barack Obama equals 76. We'll get to that. But yeah, see right here, he made his debut for the White Sox on 7-6, but he actually got called up today. So that's very interesting. Where was I? Yeah, right here. Jenks got called up on 7-5. That's today. Okay. So anyways, I just wanted to show you that, yes, it was the 2005 World Series, and they won the final game October 26, 2005. That was 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday, and he was born March 14th, 1981, 222 days after Obama's birthday. Okay, so why does the 222 matter? Well, number one, the Antichrist, Barack Obama, equals 222, the beast of Revelation, 222, Antichrist system, 222. The word beast is also 222. Remember, Obama is the guy who tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday. And COVID was also declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday, and they called it Wuhan coronavirus, which equaled 222, declared a pandemic 222 months after 9/11. Don't forget, we just had player number 222 win the Squid Game, and remember, we were introduced to player number 222 in Season 2, which came out 222 days from Obama's birthday. And player number 222, their name is Kim Jun-hee, which is a perfect match to Squid Game. But anyways, You guys know how big that 222 is with Obama, right? I've been talking about it for all these years. So, I mean, again, we're only 2 slides into this, right? He's dead at 44. Obama, a Chicago White Sox fan, Obama number 44. He's dead from cancer, 44, and he died 4 weeks and 4 days from Obama's birthday. And then you find out that he was born 222 days from Obama's birthday, and he won the World Series 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. I mean, wow, I could end it right here, but of course there's a lot more, about 25 more slides, if you can believe that. I've been very busy today. By the way, this is my second live stream. When I get done with this, make sure you go watch the live stream from earlier today. We covered the Indianapolis shooting, and then 2 celebrity deaths, and then a bit of new information on the Texas flooding. So make sure you watch the other live stream when I'm done. But anyways, he died on July 4th. Okay, that was 334 days after Obama's birthday. Baseball equals 334 in satanic. He died 32 days before Obama's birthday. Look at this. Obama 32, Barack Obama 32. Wow. Look at this, guys. His last name, Jenks, equals 14 and 31 like Obama. I mean, drop the mic, man. Jenks equals Obama in 2 ciphers. Wow. He died from adenocarcinoma, a form of stomach cancer. Adenocarcinoma 116 like Barack Hussein Obama, 116. And also, for the record, execution is also 116. So the pitcher died in Portugal. All right? Pitcher 43-38, Portugal 43-38, killing 43-38, and Lucifer 43 and 38. Now look at this. Even if you don't like my connections to Obama, which I think are pretty solid, look at this, guys. He died on 7-4. Chicago White Sox equals 74. I mean, this is a no-doubter here. What are the odds, man? Dead on 7-4, Chicago White Sox equals 74. Dead on Independence Day, 74. Killing, 74. Masonic, 74. And Lucifer, 74. Chicago, 35. Satan equals 35. And you know, Chicago is where Obama started his political career. That's why he's a Chicago White Sox fan. Did you know that Chicago has the zip codes 60606 and 60666? What are the odds that Obama got his, he started his political career in Chicago? And those are the zip codes in Chicago: 60606 and 60666. That's pretty wild. It's a lot to be a coincidence. So yeah, we saw that he got called up to the majors on July 5th. That's today. We get this news today. That's wild. But he made his debut on 7/6. Remember here? He made his MLB debut on July 6th. Okay? How does that connect to Obama? Well, Barack Obama equals 76. And Obama's book, A Promised Land, equals 76. And Skull and Bones equals 76. And for the record, Jenks equals 76. And do you remember the Georgia Guidestones? Let me pull out my notes. Remember the Georgia Guidestones that went down on 7/6? The Guidestones were built under the alias R.C. Christian. which equals 76 in that same cipher. And remember, on that day, member of Skull and Bones, George W. Bush, turned 76 years old, right? And this will be my next slide, where we talk about the 322. When did the Georgia Guidestones open? On 322. Went down on 76, when Skull and Bones equals 76. But real quick, let me just give you the other connections between Obama and the Georgia Guidestones that went down on 7-6. Remember, the Guidestones were in Elberton, Georgia. Elberton equals 44. Georgia equals 44. The Guidestones were 19 feet, 3 inches tall, 193, the 44th prime number. The Guidestones opened 19 weeks and 3 days before Obama's birthday. Another 193, the 44th prime number. The Guidestones were in Elbert County, Georgia, which equals 222, like the Antichrist Barack Obama 222. And they were in Elberton, Georgia, which equals 153, like Antichrist Obama 153, Barry Soetoro 153, Jesuit Order 153, the Illuminati 153, the Pet Goat equals 153. That's the story they were reading in the classroom on 9/11. That was on page 153 of Reading Mastery 2. Don't forget, Reading Mastery 2 equals George Walker Bush. And remember, Heliofont equals 153, the makers of iPet Goat 2. And remember, Heliofont, they took down iPet Goat 2, put it back up 153 days later. Don't forget, iPet Goat 2 equals 666. And one more connection to Obama and the Guidestones. They were 231 inches tall. They opened 231 days after Obama's birthday. The first rule of the Guidestones equals 231, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 231. Then they had a pandemic simulation called catastrophic contagion, which equals 231. That was held 231 weeks after Clade X. Remember, COVID was declared a pandemic 666 days after the Clade X pandemic simulation. And then monkeypox was declared a global health emergency 231 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic, and monkeypox outbreak is 231. But anyways, those are some fun facts on the Guidestones, and I probably won't go over that whole list on the recap, just for the sake of time. But you never know, I might. So anyways, he made his debut on 7-6, right? Barack Obama, 76. Obama's book, A Promised Land, 76. Skull and Bones, 76. Jenks, 76. And again, you know, the Guidestones open on 322, right? The number of Skull and Bones. Well, look at the connection with Skull and Bones here. His birthday is March 14th. So this is in the news today, 3 months and 22 days from his birthday. And it's also 3 months and 22 days before the anniversary of him winning the World Series. So look at that. It's 3 months, 22 days from his birthday. It's 3 months, 22 days from the anniversary of them winning the World Series. Robert Scott Jenks, 61. Skull and Crossbones, 61. White Sox pitcher, 202. Skull and Bones, 202. So the Chicago White Sox first game of the season was on March 27th. He died on July 4th. That was 99 days after the season started for the White Sox. In Gematria, White Sox World Series equals 99. And of course, he won the World Series with the White Sox. And we get this news today on July 5th, which again is the anniversary of him being called up. We get this news 100 days after the White Sox first game of the season. In Gematria, World Series champion. World Series champion equals 100. So look at this. We get this news on 7/5, right? I should have put a 7 and a 5 here, but anyways, you can see it. July 5th, right? Look at this. White Sox closer equals 75. Stomach cancer equals 75 in the same cipher. And we get this news on 7/5, guys. How crazy is that? And again, it says here, Jenks was called up to the major leagues by the White Sox on 7/5. You know what? I gotta set this down real quick. Hold on. There's something I might not have looked up. Hold on. I can't remember if I looked this up or not. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, I think I might have looked this up. Yeah. Okay. All right, never mind. False alarm. You know me. I got to double check. Make sure I didn't miss anything. You know what? Just to be sure. You know what? Just to be sure. You guys hang out. Give me a minute. Let me just double check something. Shouldn't take me too long. But yeah, so far, what do you think? Pretty crazy, huh? Those connections to Obama. Okay. I'll be done in a second. And guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. Very much appreciated. Okay, there actually is something here I can add. I'm glad I looked. Sorry about this, guys. Sometimes it happens. All right. And we're not even halfway done yet, so just hang out for a second. Okay. Dang. All right. Man, I actually missed quite a few things here, so I'm glad we're getting them in now. You guys know I try to get this stuff out as quick as possible. Man. All right, this is going to take me a second. Okay. No rush. Right? No rush. This is actually a pretty big point. Wow. It's actually 3 things I missed. I had a feeling. Wow. Got a lot of tabs open now. Okay, almost done. Okay. Whew. Better late than never. I'm glad we didn't get through everything yet, because normally when I get done with the first part and then start the recap, some people kind of tune out after that. So I'm glad we're getting it in now. All right, give me a second to get all set up again. Okay, so a few more things I can say here. We get the news today, right? July 5th, which again is the anniversary of him being called up to the major leagues, July 5th, right? But anyways, we get the news today 4 weeks and 2 days before Obama's birthday. For your 42, White Sox equals 42, okay? So there's another connection to Obama. Now, I think this is even crazier. Let me go back to his birthday. His birthday is March 14th, right? March 14th. And he won the World Series with Chicago on October 26th, okay? So we got October 26th for the World Series, and we got March 14th for his birthday, okay? So look at this. We get this news today exactly 36 weeks before his birthday, and we get this news exactly 36 weeks after the anniversary of him winning the World Series. Look at the gematria of closer. Look at that. 36. How about that? He was the closer. Closer equals 36. See right here? C-L-O-S-E-R, closer. C-L-O-S-E-R, closer equals 36. Look at that. It's exactly 36 weeks before his birthday and 36 weeks after the anniversary of him winning the World Series. That's crazy. And yeah, we also get the news 4 weeks and 2 days before Obama's birthday, White Sox 42. Okay, so where were we? Right here, right? So we get this news, again, on the anniversary of him being called up to the majors by the White Sox. And I'm sorry if I repeat myself. I just got to be thorough. But yeah, Jenks was called up to the major leagues by the White Sox on 7/5. That's today. Today's the anniversary of that. And look at the gematria. Today is 7/5, right? White Sox closer, 75, dead from stomach cancer. 75 in the same cipher, and we get the news on 7/5. Wow. His name is Robert Jenks, which equals 70. He died on Independence Day, which equals 70 in the same cipher. Now look at this. You guys know big number with baseball, 162. Look at this, guys. We get this news 16 weeks and 2 days after his birthday, and we get this news 16 weeks and 2 days from the anniversary of him winning the World Series. Okay, so we got a double 162. How does that connect to baseball? Well, each team in Major League Baseball, or MLB, plays 162 games. Do you think it's a coincidence that baseball equals 162, Major League Baseball equals 162, and MLB equals 162? Even if you don't agree with anything I've said about Bobby Jenks, I mean, is that a coincidence? There's 162 games in a baseball season. Baseball, Major League Baseball, and MLB, they're all 162. And look how perfect we get this news. 16 weeks and 2 days from his birthday, 16 weeks and 2 days from the anniversary of him winning the World Series. My goodness. We get this news on a day with 57 date numerology. 7 plus 5 plus 20 plus 25 is 57. Bobby Jenks equals 57. Wow. And he died on 4th of July, which equals 57. And World Series is also 57. He won the World Series. Bobby Jenks has the 105 and the 33 like masonry, 105 and 33. 4th of July is 147 like World Series is 147, and Freemason 147. Remember, he died on 4th of July, the World Series champ. We get this news today, 3 months and 8 days after Chicago started the season, for your 38. Pitcher, 38. He died in Portugal, 38. Murder, 38. Killing, 38. And death, 38. And look at this. The pitcher died in Portugal. Pitcher, 110, 38. Portugal, 110, 38. Pitcher, 79 and 38. Like murder, 79 and 38. He was an all-star, which has the 83. Like murder, 83. Chicago, 46. Sacrifice, 46. I believe execution is also 46. Let's see. Yeah, see, execution also has the 46. We've talked about that. But anyways, and then Chicago is also 37, like cancer is 37. He died from adenocarcinoma, which is 62, like sacrifice 62. World Series champion 107, ritual sacrifice 107. Look at this. He died 251 days from the anniversary of winning the World Series. Ritual sacrifice, 251. And look at this. It's in the news today, July 5th, 248 days after the last World Series ended. Why does that matter? Chicago White Sox pitcher, 248, human sacrifice, 248. The World Series champion, his death in the news, 248 days after the last World Series ended. He died 112 days after his birthday. Chicago White Sox pitcher equals 112. My goodness, this is a very coded ritual here. And look at this, guys. He died in Sintra, which has sin in the name, S-I-N. Remember, we're connecting this whole thing to Obama. So it's got sin in the name. And Sintra is a perfect match to ritual in every cipher across the board, including the number 45. You see he wore the number 45. But wow, look at that. If you didn't think it was a ritual before, the place where he died allegedly, which has sin in the name, perfect match to ritual. All right, guys, that is it. If anybody would like to support the channel, very much appreciated. This is my full-time job. I'm not monetized. So any support, very much appreciated. And thank you so much to everyone who does support. Very much appreciated. I almost feel like there was another 36 besides closer. But here. Give me 1 minute. Let me make sure. Here, we'll do a recap in a second. Yep, I got the 33, Todd. Thank you. For anyone coming in late, I'll do a quick recap. I know there's something I missed. There always is. It's pretty much impossible to get everything, but I almost feel like there was another 36. Of course, Barack equals 36. There's that. You know what? Barack is also 45, and he wore the number 45. I guess I can mention that, huh? Actually, it's 45 in the same cipher as Sintra, where he died. So yeah, I guess we'll mention that on the recap. So Sintra equals Barack, and then Barack is also 36. But I almost feel like there was another 36. But whatever, it's all good. I think you guys saw enough from the 30 slides. I mean, just the 44 and the 222 connection should be enough. But yeah, for the record, Barack does equal 36. Also kind of like 3 6s. But yeah, let me just type in a few things here, see if I can figure out the other 36 I'm missing, if there is one. And then we'll do the recap. Or maybe that's what it was. Closer, 36. Oh, you know what? There is a slide I didn't show you. I had it up here in the tabs. That's what I need to do. I need to go through all these tabs and make sure. There was another one I forgot to show you. Yeah. Right here. Whoa. Kicked my table. All right. So if you left early, you missed this part too. He died in Sintra, which equals 27. Closer, 27. Ritual, 27. All in the same cipher. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this quick recap. All right, guys. Yeah, for the record, you see how he wore the number 45? He died in Sintra, 45, like ritual. Barak is also 45 in that same cipher. Yep, Todd, you're right. Yep, Obama was born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Obama was born on the day, leaving 149 days left in the year. Antichrist equals 149. Obama equals dragon. Luke 10:18, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barak means lightning. Bama the heights. Obama's slogan, yes we can. If you listen to it backwards, you'll hear thank you Satan. When Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. If you add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama, it equals 666. Obama was with Eminem in Michigan 103 days after Eminem released the song Antichrist. Obama equals 103, Eminem 103. They were together 103 days after Eminem released the song Antichrist. And the first part of that song says, the devil came to Michigan. They were together in Michigan. So, and I could go on. There's so many confirmations, in my opinion, that Obama's the guy. But as long as you believe in Jesus and you are born again, that's all that matters. But yeah, I do think if I can prove that the beast system is here and the Antichrist is here, it helps people wake up to reality, right? Snap back to reality. Okay, here we go. We're going to fly through this time. All right. Bobby Jenks, closer for White Sox World Series winning team, dead at 44. Jenks recorded the final out of the 2005 World Series. This article from today, July 5th. All right, guys, how does this connect to Barack Obama? Well, Obama is a Chicago White Sox fan. He's dead at the age of 44. Obama, number 44. And he died 4 weeks and 4 days from Obama's birthday, and he died from cancer, which equals 44. Kill equals 44. And somewhere around here, execution is also 44. But what are the odds, right? Dead at 44, Obama number 44, a Chicago White Sox fan, and he's dead 4 weeks and 4 days from Obama's birthday from cancer, 44, kill 44. And what's the biggest number I talk about with Obama? The number 222. This guy was born March 14th, 1981. He was born 222 days after Obama's birthday. Wow. And he won the World Series with the White Sox 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. The Antichrist, Barack Obama, 222. The Beast of Revelation, 222. Antichrist system, 222. The word beast is 222. Remember, Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday. Declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. They called it Wuhan coronavirus 222. Declared a pandemic 222 months from 9/11. He died 334 days from Obama's birthday. Baseball equals 334 in satanic. He died 32 days before Obama's birthday. Obama 32, Barack Obama 32. His last name, Jenks, equals Obama in multiple ciphers. Jenks 1431, Obama 1431. He died from adenocarcinoma, 116, like Barack Hussein Obama, 116. And the word execution is also 116. The pitcher died in Portugal. Portugal, 43 and 38. Like, hold on. Portugal is 43 and 38, like pitcher is 43-38, killing 43-38, Lucifer 43-38. So he died on 7-4, guys. Look at this. Chicago White Sox equals 74. Independence Day, 74. That's when he died. Killing, 74. Masonic and Lucifer, 74. Chicago equals 35, like Satan is 35. And Chicago has the 60606 zip code and the 60666 zip code. So he made his debut for the White Sox on July 6, 7-6. Barack Obama equals 76. Obama's Book, A Promised Land, 76. Skull and Bones, 76. Remember, the Georgia Guidestones are built under the alias R.C. Christian, which equals 76. And they went down on 7-6, the day that member of Skull and Bones, George W. Bush, turned 76 years old. And also Jenks equals 76. Someone's saying Boston equals 32. Yeah, because he also played for Boston. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, look at that. Boston is also 32. So yeah, that's worth mentioning. Appreciate it. And yeah, I was pretty much connecting this to Chicago, but he did also play for Boston. Right? Yep, right here. Boston Red Sox. So thank you for the addition. I love when people add stuff in the chat. But yeah, remember he died 32 days from Obama's birthday. Obama 32, Barack Obama 32. He did also play for Boston. Another 32. All right, where were we? Okay, so Barack Obama equals 76. He made his debut on 7-6. And earlier, I went over the whole list of the connection to the Georgia Guidestones and Obama. You'll have to go back if you, and the 4 ciphers. And yeah, I mentioned that, James. If you're talking about Barack Hussein Obama, when you add the 4 ciphers, are you talking about somebody else? Let me know. If you're talking about Barack Hussein Obama and the 4 base ciphers equaling 666, I mentioned that earlier. Yep, okay. Thank you. All right. So yeah, you'll have to go back if you want to hear the whole list of the connections to Obama and the Georgia Guidestones. But anyways, the Georgia Guidestones, which I mentioned earlier, they opened on 322 to go with the fact that they went down on 7-6 and Skull and Bones equals 76. But anyways, let's keep moving here. He died 3 months and 22 days from, or no, it was in the news, sorry. It's in the news today, July 5th. He died yesterday, it's in the news today. So it's in the news today, 3 months and 22 days from his birthday. And it's also in the news today, 3 months and 22 days from the anniversary of him winning the World Series. Yeah, I got that one, Todd. And then to go with that, Robert Scott Jenks, 61, Skull and Crossbones, 61. White Sox pitcher, 202, Skull and Bones, 202. All right, and before I forget, look how many tabs I have open here. Before I forget, let me show you. Now remember, the other thing, I've already said this 5 times, but, and I didn't even realize this till I started the stream. But Look, we get the news today on July 5th, right? Today is the anniversary of him being called up to the major leagues. Jenks was called up to the major leagues by the White Sox on July 5th. Isn't that crazy? That's today that we get this news. I mean, what are the odds? I guess 1 out of 365, I guess. Okay, now for the other connection to Obama. Remember, we get this news today, 4 weeks and 2 days from Obama's birthday. If you're 42, White Sox equals 42. And yeah, you're right, Mike. Man, the list just keeps going. Here, we'll get rid of the Boston 32. Yeah, that means if it was in 2005, right? Yeah, July 5th, 2005. That means it was exactly 20 years ago. And Mike's right, death equals 20. 2005. Yep, look at that. Exactly 20 years ago. And death equals 20. Let's see, we can get rid of RC Christian. Because we're not going to do a third recap, right? Thank you, Mike. See, I love when the brilliant minds are in here to help me out. It makes for a much better live stream. There you go. So, yep, he was called up to the majors exactly 20 years ago today. Death equals 20. His death in the news today. So there you go. Okay, so Chicago opened the season this year, March 27th. He died 99 days after they started the season. White Sox World Series, 99. And it's in the news today, 100 days after they started the season, World Series champion, 100. And before I forget, well, it's all right. I'll do it at the end. So we get this news today on 7/5, right? Again, the anniversary of him being called up to the majors. On 7/5, we get this news. White Sox closer, 75, stomach cancer, 75, in the same cipher. And you know what? Before I forget, let me mention this connection too. Remember, he won the World Series on October 26th, right? And his birthday is March 14th. Okay, so we get this news exactly 36 weeks from the anniversary of him winning the World Series and 36 weeks before his birthday. Look at the gematria of closer, 36. And also, Barack equals 36 for the record. All right, Robert Jenks equals 70, dead on Independence Day, which equals 70 in the same cipher. Now, how crazy is this? His death is in the news 16 weeks and 2 days from his birthday, and it's in the news 16 weeks and 2 days from the anniversary of him winning the World Series. So you got the double 162. Well, there's 162 games in a Major League Baseball season, and in gematria, baseball is 162, Major League Baseball 162, and MLB 162. We get this news on a day with 57 date numerology, 7 plus 5 plus 20 plus 25, 57. Bobby Jenks equals 57. World Series 57. And he died on 4th of July. 4th of July equals 57, and the same cipher as Bobby Jenks. Don't you think that's interesting that his real name, Robert Jenks, equals Independence Day and the same cipher, and Bobby Jenks equals 4th of July and the same cipher? I mean, this decode is so deep, man. It's honestly one of the most coded rituals involving an athlete or a celebrity that I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that. It really is. And I'm sure that I've missed tons. You know, it's off the charts, this one. Bobby Jenks 105.33, like masonry 105.33. 4th of July 147, World Series 147. The World Series champion died on the 4th of July, and then Freemason also has that 147. His death is in the news 3 months and 8 days from when the White Sox opened the season for your 38. Pitcher 38, he died in Portugal 38. Murder 38, killing 38, death equals 38. Pitcher 110 and 38, like Portugal 110 and 38. Pitcher is also 79 and 38, like Murder 79 and 38. All-Star 83, Murder 83. Chicago 46, Sacrifice 46. Execution is also 46. There you go. And then Chicago 37, Cancer 37. He died from adenocarcinoma 62, like Sacrifice 62. World Series champion 107, Ritual Sacrifice 107. And this is crazy. He died 251 days from the anniversary of him winning the World Series. Ritual Sacrifice is 251. That's pretty clear. And it's in the news today, 248 days after the last World Series ended, October 30th, 2024. So we get the news 248 days after the last World Series ended. Chicago White Sox pitcher, 248. Human sacrifice, 248. He died 112 days after his birthday. Chicago White Sox pitcher, 112. And he died in Sintra, which has sin in the name. And remember, we're connecting this to the Antichrist, right? And on top of that, Sintra is a perfect match to Ritual in every cipher across the board. And then for another 27, Closer is also 27, like Sintra and Ritual. And then remember, he wore the number 45, like Sintra 45, Ritual 45. Remember, Barak is also 45 in that same cipher. So, it's just crazy. And yeah, that is it. Again, if anybody would like to support the channel, here's how you can do so. Any support, very much appreciated, and thank you so much to everyone who does support. Let me make sure I got it all in here. But yeah, guys, dead 36 weeks from his death is in the news. 36 weeks from the anniversary of him winning the World Series, and exactly 36 weeks before his birthday. Closer equals 36. You know, and then he got called up to the majors by the White Sox today, July 5th. I didn't even know that when I started this decode. We found that on the fly. I mean, what a confirmation. Of all the days, July 5th, 2005. That was 20 years ago when death equals 20, right? And then you got the 44 connection with Obama. Obama's a Chicago White Sox fan. He's number 44. Obama's number 44. He died 4 weeks and 4 days from Obama's birthday from cancer, 44. The guy was born 222 days from Obama's birthday. You guys know that's the biggest number I talk about with Obama. And he won the World Series 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. The Antichrist Barack Obama, 222. The guy who tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday. You know, Wuhan coronavirus, 222, declared a pandemic 222 months from 9/11, declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. For the record, don't forget the first U.S. case of COVID was 222 days from Trump's birthday, and Trump equals 222, and Trump just won the election 222 days from his birthday, and I could go on with the 222 and Trump also, but You know, they're very connected, Obama and Trump. Excuse me. Dead 32 days from Obama's birthday. Obama 32, Barack Obama 32. Jenks equals Obama. Dead on 7-4 when Chicago White Sox equals 74. We get the news on 7-5 when White Sox closer is 75, like stomach cancer is 75 in the same cipher. Robert Jenks dead on Independence Day. Robert Jenks equals Independence Day. You got the 162 connection. His death in the news 16 weeks, 2 days from his birthday and 16 weeks, 2 days from the anniversary of the World Series when baseball, Major League Baseball, MLB, they're all 162 with 162 games in a season. And then Bobby Jenks equals 4th of July. He died on 4th of July. I mean, this thing is crazy, man. And then he's dead 251 days from the anniversary of the World Series, ritual sacrifice, 251. And then his death in the news 248 days after the last World Series was over. Chicago White Sox pitcher, 248, human sacrifice, 248. 248 days after the last World Series ended. Chicago White Sox pitcher, 112, dead 112 days from his birthday. He died in Sintra, which has sin in the name, and it's a perfect match to ritual. I mean, wow. All right. Let me turn this around. So what did you guys think of that? Pretty crazy, huh? The 44 connection to Obama, the 222 connection, and everything else. Does anybody have anything to add before I wrap it up? I know I'm probably missing some stuff, but it's all good. If I find anything else, I'll just leave it in the comments. I don't think I'll even bring it up in the next live stream because then I'll have to recap it again. So we'll probably just look out in the comments. So if I find anything else, I'll put it in there. If there was another 36, I feel like there was, besides closer 36 and it being 36 weeks from his birthday and 36 weeks from the anniversary of the World Series and closer 36. I feel like there was another one, but oh well. I did what I could do in a short amount of time. And I can tell you this, I'm probably the only guy in the world who put out a video connecting this to Barack Obama. All credit to God. But yeah. I don't know. I was glitching earlier? Oh no. Don't tell me that. That's horrible. For real? Ramel says I was glitching earlier. How bad? Oh man, that really puts a damper on things. Was I glitching for anybody else? What was it? Was it like buffering? Mike says it seemed fine to him. Yeah, let me know, guys. I got 50 people in here. Let me know. Was I glitching earlier? Was it bad? Was it, Bonnie said it's fine. It could be based on the person. Sometimes, you know, your Wi-Fi a little bit, but 10 minutes ago. Was I glitching for anybody? Katie, are you still in here? Was I glitching 10 minutes ago? Lioness Roar says she didn't see anything. Dawn says fine. Yeah, Ramel, it could have just been you. I'm going to pray that was the case. Because as you guys know, about a month ago, I was having some very serious technical difficulties with the glitching. I got a new router, a new modem. I rearranged my whole room. And literally the modem and the router are like 5 feet behind me. So I hope it wasn't glitching. But if it did, Nothing I can do about it at this point, because I also bought a brand new phone. So I got the high-speed internet, got the new modem, new router, new phone. I'm sorry if it was glitching. You guys know it. With my OCD perfectionism, it really bothers me when I'm glitching out. So I'll have to go back, and everyone else is saying they had no glitch. So we'll see. I'm going to go back and watch the video. We'll see, man. It's been a long day. No way. Is it really 11 o'clock? Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard a lot of people say this, and I absolutely believe this. Time is going by faster, right? And what does it say in the Bible? Let me bring up the verse about the days being shortened. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm telling you guys, I wake up, and before you know it, the day is over. Matthew 24:22, is that the one? I don't know if, that has anything to do with it, but I don't know what it is, but the time is going by so fast. It's just insane. Matthew 24:22, and except those days be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Yeah, an hour feels like 45 minutes, or like a half an hour. It's like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, again, I wake up, like, I blink my eyes, and then the day is over. Like, I feel like I just woke up, and it's 11 o'clock. Wow. It has been a long day, though, but still, I feel like it's like 7 o'clock. I don't know how it's 11. That's insane. Anyways, Jesus is coming soon. I can't wait. Yeah, some people think it's CERN. I don't know what's going on, man. I just know the days are flying by unusually fast. So, all right, guys. If I missed anything, I'll leave it in the comments. Let me go through my tabs one more time here. But yeah, you guys get the point, right? I can't believe he got called up to the major leagues on July 5th. That's today. Didn't even know that when I started the stream. So what a confirmation. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Margaret agrees. Time's going by faster. Thank you guys for all the great comments and all the help. But yeah, you got the big 44 connection with Obama, and then he was born 222 days from Obama's birthday. I mean, yeah, if you came in late, make sure you rewatch the whole thing. Yeah, oh yeah, I went live earlier today too, so make sure you check that out. I covered 4 decodes, a little bit more on the Texas flooding. We covered a shooting that happened in Indianapolis. And then the guy, Julian McMahon from Fantastic Four and Nip Tuck. And then another very obvious ritual, Young Noble, who was with Tupac's Outlaws group. We covered all that today in an earlier live stream. So make sure you go check that out. At least give it a like and a comment. Help the algorithm. Very much appreciated. Yeah, we covered Michael Madsen. We covered Diogo Jota, the soccer player. We've covered everything. There's not too much we haven't covered over the last couple days. I've been super busy. And I was saying earlier today, if you go back and listen to the live stream, I was like, I hope there's no more news tonight because I need a break. And of course, I knew right away this was, well, the first thing I saw was cancer at 44. I said, oh, of course, because cancer equals 44. And then I'm like, wait a minute, he's plays for the White Sox. Obama is a White Sox fan, and Obama's number 44. I wonder if this is connected to Obama in any way. And then when I saw he was born 222 days from Obama's birthday, I was like, oh man, and it went deeper. So anyways, I'm out of here. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of the channel. Do me a favor on the way out. Please hit the, yep, I covered Bruce Jenner's manager. Covered that too. But yeah, do me a favor on the way out. Please hit the like and the share. Very much appreciated. And we'll leave it there. All right, guys. As always, keep looking up. Oh, also, leave a comment. When I get done, leave a comment on this video. Say, good video, hello, anything. Help the algorithm. The more comments, the more views. Very much appreciated. All right? Thank you, guys. Okay. As always, keep looking up. We are living in the biblical end of days. Jesus is coming very soon. I can't wait. And I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless.